Okay, and we are live. ¿Qué tal, amigos? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with this evening's live stream, 7:35 p.m. It is the 20th of April. It is looking at some of the main stories that have caught my attention in the press here in Spain over the last couple of days, over the weekend. We'll look at some comments that have been left on the channel in recent times by viewers, like we always do, and we'll go into the live chat and check out what is happening in the live chat among the viewers this evening, so stay tuned for that. Now, we'll get straight into the news, and of course, the relationship that Spain has with China still dominating headlines. And as we can see here, China has doubled its economic presence in Spain over the last 5 years. China has doubled its economic presence in Spain in the last 5 years. In 2018, imports from China stood at 25 billion euros, a figure that surged to nearly 50 billion euros in 2022 and remained high at 45 billion euros in 2023. This sharp increase highlights growing Chinese investment in Spain, ranging from large-scale energy and automotive projects to smaller but meaningful ventures. Despite the influx, Spain's trade deficit with China remains considerable, exporting only 7.5 billion euros in 2024. The Spanish and Chinese governments have maintained strong economic ties, reinforced during the pandemic when China was among the first to supply Spain with masks and protective gear. These ties were further solidified during President Xi Jinping's 2018 visit to Spain, which resulted in 20 signed cooperation agreements. Companies like Telefónica, Indra, SEAT, and Técnicas Reunidas played a key role. Although Spain declined to join China's Belt and Road Initiative, it committed to strengthening strategic collaboration. So there we go. That is the trade situation between the two countries, China and Spain. We know that Spain is under pressure, or has been under pressure in recent times, especially from the Trump administration, because of strengthening ties with China, something that Mr. Trump and company do not want Spain to do. Spain's economy minister, Carlos Cuerpo, flew to Washington last week, sat down with the Treasury Secretary and discussed trade relations between the two countries, but nothing fruitful, I don't think, came from those discussions. The US demanded Spain do a few things. For example, when it comes to the Google tax, which Spain has implemented on the company Google, or a technology tax, if you like. But the minister has come out today and said that that is not going to happen. That tax will stay. We're not going to remove it, which is what the Americans want. So we can see there the trade balance between the two countries, Spain and China, which is strong, but the trade imbalance is there on the Spanish side because lots more Chinese investment coming into Spain than Spanish investment going into China, or goods being exported, if you like. Second piece of news here, and the tourism strike in Tenerife ended after 2 days without incidents. Tenerife's tourism sector strike concluded peacefully on Friday after 2 days of demonstrations demanding improved wages. Organised by Union Sindicalistas de Base, the strike followed a breakdown in negotiations with hospitality employers and aimed to align workers' pay with the tourism sector's record earnings of recent years. Protesters marched under the slogan for wealth sharing, more rights and better wages. Around 10,000 people reportedly joined Friday's protest in southern Tenerife, although official figures put the turnout at 2,000. Flyers in English were distributed to tourists, some of whom showed support for the cause. The march proceeded from Costa Adeje to Playa de las Americas, passing many of the island's largest hotels. Throughout the route, some hotel employees waved at the marchers, while tourists waved from poolside. Nearly 80,000 hospitality workers from Tenerife, La Palma, La Gomera and El Hierro had been called to participate, over 30,000 of them from accommodation establishments. So there we go, the tourism sector, which the workers there hope to disrupt the tourism economy for at least a couple of days during the strike, during the peak Easter season, when lots of people have already planned their holidays to places like Tenerife. We saw there that it ended without too many problems, and the pay rise, of course, not met, which was the reason for the dispute. The workers down there, as we saw, want higher salaries in line with the record profits that those hotel chains have been making in recent years, post-pandemic record profits. More and more people flocking to places like the Canary Islands, Tenerife in particular, which, let's be honest, has a lot to offer the tourist, and planting their feet and saying that we want more money and going on strike. But of course, as usual, discrepancies in the figures. We can see 10,000 people according to the organisers, but only 2,000 according to authorities. So we get the impression there that probably in the middle somewhere, but the government doesn't want too many people jumping on the back of these protests. They want to keep the status quo in Tenerife. So we'll see if workers in hotels on that island do get the fairer pay that I believe they deserve. And let's take it out of the profits of those big multinational hotel chains, which are reaping in the cash, or have been doing so in recent times. Let's hope that is the case. Fairer pay for the workers there. Next piece of news, and 78% of Spaniards don't identify as bullfighting fans, but less than half support ending its cultural protection. A recent survey has revealed that 78% of Spaniards do not identify as bullfighting fans. Despite this, less than half, 48%, support repealing the cultural protection status bullfighting currently holds. A key issue the Spanish Congress will soon debate. Anti-bullfighting sentiment spans all age groups, and political parties. However, Vox and the PP, Popular Party, known for defending the tradition, still have the highest percentage of bullfighting supporters, 37.6% and 31.3% respectively. Notably, the majority of their voters are also non-taurinos or non-supporters of bullfighting, 60.1% for Vox and 64.9% for the PP. On the opposite side, nearly all supporters of the left-wing Sumar party, 92.1%, oppose bullfighting, as do 87.6% of PSOE or Socialist Party voters. The poll also highlights a gender divide. 82.1% of women reject bullfighting compared to 73.6% of men. While support for bullfighting continues to decline, especially among younger generations, the issue remains politically and culturally divisive in Spain. So bullfighting on the agenda here in Spain, again, culturally and politically divisive, as we can see here. It depends what side of politics you are on, whether you support or do not like, or support or don't support bullfighting. You either like it or you don't like it. If you are on the left side of politics, most likely you do not. And if you are on the right side of politics here in Spain, you might support bullfighting, or according to those statistics, you probably do. And the debate will take place in Parliament in coming weeks as to whether the cultural protection status should be ended or not, because as we know, it is protected under various laws here as a cultural event and part of Spanish culture, and therefore cannot be touched. So we'll see if that is removed, that cultural protection, and whether bullfighting will continue into the future, or whether it will come to an end and be more restricted, as many people here in Spain no doubt would like. According to those figures there, 78% of Spaniards don't identify as bullfighting fans, not going to watch bullfights like previous generations might have done, when it was more of a symbol of Spain, let's say. But of course, that is on the decline. Let us know your opinion in the comment section, please. And the final piece of news here, Spain has better roads and fewer accidents than the European average. Despite viral misinformation claiming that Spain's roads are among the worst and most dangerous in Europe, official data proves otherwise. Social media content alleging poor road quality and high accident rates has been debunked. While it is true that investment in road infrastructure has declined since the 2008 crisis, Spain remains well below the European average in both traffic fatalities and injuries per million inhabitants. According to Eurostat, countries such as Italy, Portugal, and Turkey, and some Central European nations report significantly higher accident rates. Additionally, surveys show that Spaniards rate their roads very positively. Claims of widespread danger and neglect are therefore misleading. Spain's road safety and infrastructure continue to outperform much of Europe, challenging the narrative promoted in several viral videos. Although infrastructure spending has dropped over the time, the country has managed to maintain relatively safe and well-regarded roadways. So again, another controversial topic, the quality of roads here in Spain. Let me know your opinion, of course, whether you think if you are in Spain living or whether you have visited the country and driven on the roads. Let us know what you think of the quality of roads here in Spain. I drive all around the country and the main roads seem to be in fairly good nick. When you get onto some of the secondary roads, you might come across the odd pothole or various other problems with the roads. But as I said, on the main highways that take you around the country, I've had a fairly positive experience, despite, as we can see here, viral misinformation claiming that the roads here are among the worst in Europe. I don't know. I don't think that is the case, as I said, given my experience driving on roads here. But again, I'd love to hear your opinion. Let me know what you think of the situation when it comes to roads. Good quality or bad quality? Let me know in that comment section below. Now, speaking of comments, we're going to go into the comment section, check out what has been bubbling away there in recent times. One here from Michael. I've just got back from a month in Puerto de la Cruz and didn't have an issue. In fact, this was my 4th year in a row and I've never had a problem out there. Thanks, Michael. Probably you were in Tenerife before the hotel workers went on strike. But of course, with strikes here, minimum services are guaranteed. So if you've got 100 people working in the hotel, probably between 30 or 40% would continue working according to Spanish law. Minimum services, of course. I think the official figure there is around 25 or 30%. Don't quote me on that. So some people would have been on strike, some people might not. But as I said a minute ago, Michael, I think you were there before the strike action started, which was Easter Thursday and Easter Friday, I believe, were the 2 days in question there. So, normally there aren't any problems in places like that. You can go to the hotels, not have an issue. But, of course, people working in hotels on the island of Tenerife, as we saw, they want more cash. They want more cash, Michael. One here from Patricia, who's a Tenerife resident, saying here, well, there was a big honking protest in Los Cristianos this evening. Nothing much else going on. Operations seem fairly normal. Thanks, Patricia, for your information coming directly from the source down there in the Canaries, Los Cristianos, one of the popular tourism areas of the country in the south of the island, very close to the other places that we saw there. Playa de las Americas, for example, just down the road. And of course, that would have been one of the areas hardest hit because that's what they wanted to do. They want to affect the tourism industry down there and have the industry cave to their demands, hence the strike. So not sure how this one's going to end, whether there will be more strikes leading up to the summer months, we will see. But of course, my opinion personally is that people should be paid more in those sectors, low wages, and the record profits not getting passed down to the workers for whatever reason, but that's the system we live in, right? So people have to demand their rights, of course. Another one here from Yanissi. Hi, Stu and guests. I'm curious about the differences about who is in charge and what resources are available when it comes to a national disaster. This doesn't excuse Mathon's absence, but why would he alert the public if he is unaware of the problem, since the Hookah Hydrographic Confederation failed to alert Mathon's Generalitat? Is the Hookah a federal or national organisation? Good question, Yanisi. And this is one of the things that a lot of people here in Spain struggle to come to terms with, is exactly who controls what, given the confusing political system that has sprung up in Spain over the last 30 years or so, with the autonomous communities. Who's in charge of this? Who's in charge of that? Whose responsibility was that? Whose responsibility is this? That's the question, and that's what the Mathon government is playing with down there at the moment. They're trying to force the blame onto the central government, and the central government is trying to push the blame onto the Mathon Generalitat government. But of course, it's in the hands of the court system, and a lot of the information coming out of the court system is putting the blame fairly and squarely on Mr. Mathon and his response to the tragedy, because at the end of the day, I think his government was the one responsible for the alert system, and the alert system, of course, came too late for many, many people who were caught in the wrong place at the wrong time when the flood waters hit. That's what the court system is trying to get to the bottom of. So hopefully we will get an answer one day, NSE, hopefully. One here from Mellow Yellow. I watch your channel regularly, and it always amazes me that you can have 1,000 views but only a few hundred likes. In my opinion, you offer a wide range of interesting topics, always interesting and informative. Well done. You are doing a great job. Happy Easter to one and all, and don't forget to give a like, folks. Thanks, Mellow Yellow, for the comment. Over my time on YouTube, the likes don't often match the views. Sometimes it's around 10 or 15%. So, for example, if you get 1,000 views, maybe you'll get 100 likes. Why is that? Because a lot of people just don't bother hitting the like button for whatever reason. And it happens to me. Sometimes I watch a video on YouTube and I don't hit the like button. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So you need to encourage people to hit the like icon if you want that statistic to go up, but around 10% I would say that it is, or at least that has been my experience over the time that I have been putting videos out. But thanks for the comment. I try to be as informative as possible. I try to put out as interesting content as possible. Not always easy, and of course YouTube is a very, very big ecosystem with lots of people putting content out, and there's lots of choice for people to choose from on the YouTube platform, and we're all competing. We're all competing for views, of course. One here from Vic. You go check out an eatery in Madrid, I start drooling, and I want to go to Madrid. You do this in Cuenca. This makes me now want to go to Cuenca. Now Portugal. I'm scratching my head. Should I cancel my €1,500 a night hotel in Barcelona and head to Portugal instead, or €1,500 hotel stay, not sure, and head to Portugal instead? Obviously not, but still, should I stay or should I go? Thanks, Vic, for that. Yep, sorry to make you drool with the food reviews that I do. The other day, one from Portugal, others that I do in different parts of the country. My idea is to travel to different parts of Spain over the next few months and do videos from different places, different cities, different towns, lots of different types of content. So hopefully you won't get the need to travel to all of the places that I'm going to be traveling to. Should you cancel your hotel in Barcelona and head to Cuenca? No, I would not recommend doing that. Should you include Cuenca in an upcoming visit to Spain? Why not? Why not? Don't just go to Cuenca City, head into the province, head into other parts of central Spain, and you will be surprised, as I always am, by the quality not only of the food, but also of the just basically everything in many parts of Spain. I'm always, well, I'm not going to say always impressed by what I see, but a lot of the times I am impressed by what a lot of the small towns have to offer in central Spain, not only in the coastal regions where people seem to flock to, or cities like Barcelona, which of course have their attractions, but yeah, if you get out from the cities, get out from Madrid, get out of Barcelona, travel to some of the interior parts of the country, you won't be disappointed. That would be my recommendation. And the final comment here from Just Looking: how was your experience as an English speaker, as Spanish and Basque are the most prevalent? Understandably, could you navigate and communicate effectively with primarily English and basic Spanish? Thanks for the comment, Just Looking. This was left on a video that I did last year, I think, when I went to Bilbao. I brought this one up because I want to highlight this not only in a Bilbao or Basque country context, but in the Spanish context as well. My experiences as an English speaker here. It is true, English is my first language, but I do speak Spanish fairly well, I will say. I've never had an issue with Spanish, so I can't really put myself in the shoes of somebody who doesn't speak Spanish. I came to Spain many years ago not speaking Spanish, and it was a bad experience, of course. I'm talking 30 years ago. And it was very, very difficult to communicate if you didn't know somebody that spoke English well, because the English level in the country back then was very low, as I said, almost non-existent. Things have improved over the journey. Lots more people speak English nowadays here in Spain because the education system has improved that aspect of it. People are also more in tune with what's happening outside of the country. The internet and all of those things have improved people's language skills here. If you go to a small city in Spain, will the locals speak English? The majority? No. Especially if you go to some of those places that I mentioned before, the interior parts of the country, because they're older generations living there normally, and they've never had to learn another language. But the younger generations, yes. So in all of the hospitality sectors and things like that, you'll find people that speak English quite well, and other languages too. And you can communicate effectively with primarily English and basic Spanish, but of course the objective would be to keep working on your Spanish in order to get up to a level where you're not only trying to communicate in English, because it gets a little bit frustrating for the locals as well, that people that live in this country for a long, long time don't make the effort to speak the language, if that is going to be your case. So whether you're going to the north of Spain, whether you're going to the south of Spain, whether you're going to the Canary Islands, whether you're going to the Balearic Islands, have a plan to learn the language, at least to an intermediate level. That would be my advice. Now, I'm going to go into the live chat in just a moment. Before I do, I have to change the backdrop picture here. This photo was sent through from Fred, who's traveling. There it is. Who's traveling or was traveling in different parts of the country. This is a walkway that has been put up around the coast in Malaga called the Sendero Litoral, I think it is called. And Fred has been doing different parts of this sendero, or this walkway or pathway, over the last few weeks or months, and sent this photo through. Not sure exactly where it is, but he said east of Malaga City. So I'm probably thinking it's somewhere like Rincón de la Victoria, maybe, or somewhere near there. Not sure exactly where it would be. But thanks, Fred, for sending this photo through. And other people that would like to see similar pictures that they have taken of Spain on the backdrop, spainspeaks@gmail.com is the email address. Feel free, as I said, to send those photos through, as Fred has done. And I must say that Malaga is a place where you look at the vegetation down there. I mean, unbelievable. The flowers are out, green. You got the Mediterranean Sea on one side. Lovely climate down there in Malaga. Thanks, Fred, for sending this picture through. I appreciate it. The like icon's also on the screen. If you haven't hit the like icon yet, as somebody just suggested, why aren't the likes very high? Well, we've got 42 likes at the moment. There's only 82 people watching the live stream. I think maybe I didn't announce the live stream this evening until quite late, so maybe that could be one of the reasons why there aren't many people watching it. But as normal, people will catch up at another time, no doubt. But the like icon is down below the video if you want to hit it. See if we can get up to a decent tally today. Nearly 50. So I'll take 50 today. I'll take 50. But again, 83 people watching, so not everybody hits the like icon for whatever reason. But if you can, do it. If you can't, don't worry. People that have supported the channel in recent times, whether it's on the Super Thanks option, whether it's by buying me a coffee, whether it's the longer-term supporters on Patreon, thank you very much for that support. It's always greatly appreciated, and it also helps me diversify the content here. And the YouTube supporters as well, people that have become members of the YouTube channel. From 99 cents a month, you can become a member. Thank you very much for that. And also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. And you can find me on other social media outlets as well, although if you write me messages on Facebook, I might not see them because I'm not a regular Facebook user. I'm off Twitter completely, or X completely nowadays, and Instagram also. I don't often see messages. So if you want to get in contact, the email is the best way to do that. Now, into the chat section. Let me open it up here. I imagine there's not going to be much activity, so I'll get through this quickly. Barbara, valued member, coming in from the Playa Flamenca. Been a cooler 20 degrees there today with some rain. Thanks for that, Barbara. Janet is in the chat too. Hi, Amanda and all from Oxford. Amanda, it must be in the chat. There she is there. Hello from a sunny Shropshire. Stephen is here too. Valued member also, coming in from a grey but mild North London. Stephen, of course, spending time in Torrevieja when he comes to Spain, I think it is. Renan is still in Madrid. Thanks, Renan. Hope you are still enjoying it, although it has been a little bit wet in recent times. Uncle Al, Tio Al, the last day for him in El Puerto, off to Philadelphia tomorrow, back in May, says Al. Good to hope everything goes well with that trip, Al, and good to see that you'll be back in May. Eddie's in the chat too. Greetings from Cairns, Australia. Not sure what time it would be in Cairns. Probably going forward 10 hours maybe. Somewhere around there. But early in the morning it would be. John's in the chat here too. Coming in from Almeria, Bicar to be exact. Greetings and best wishes. Thanks, John. Back in Spain. Came a couple of weeks ago. Went back to the UK. Now back again. David works in a hotel. Yep, we need to be paid better. I think so, David. I think in a sector where profits have been booming in recent times, especially here in Spain in the tourism sector, the hotel sector, people need a pay rise. It's quite simple, I think so. Adam coming in here, and rightly so. They work hard and they work very long hours, respect to all Spanish hotel workers. Thanks, Adam, reinforcing the ideas there. Marcus is here too, from an unusually green Murcia. It looks like his olive trees might finally give a harvest after 2 years of nothing. Big fat zero. Thanks, Marcus. Yeah, I imagine that Murcia would be quite green after all of the rain that has fallen in recent times. I went to Cuenca last week or the week before. It was unbelievably green, the fields in that part of Spain. And, of course, Murcia, not far away from, not far away. It's probably a couple of 100 kilometres, but it's in the same direction. Marcus tried to send a super chat, but it doesn't seem to be working this evening. Well, I'm not sure what goes on with the super chat, Marcus. It's all out of my control, those things, but thanks for trying. Valued member anyway, but anyway, thanks for that. Not sure what's going on. I can't investigate, unfortunately. Maybe I can go in here and see what's happening. I think everything seems to be turned on. Oh, we've got a new valued member, which I'll get to in a moment, but the super chat, not sure exactly what's happening with it. YouTube is a mystery behind the scenes. It's hard to control. David saying nothing brings down traffic accidents like high unemployment. Sad but true. Thanks, David, referring to the article that we saw before about the roads here in Spain. Janet also on the same topic. Roads seem to be pretty safe compared to the ones in the UK. Pretty empty compared to travelling there. Well, of course, when you put it into perspective, the size of the UK with the population that you have, there's not much space. Let's be honest about that. What's the UK population? 60 million or something, is it? And the size? I don't think the UK would be much bigger than some of the autonomous communities here in Spain. I could be wrong about that. If I am, please correct me. But we're talking 60 million people in a pretty limited space. Whereas here, of course, you get out on the open road and you can drive and not experience much traffic at all. Only around the big cities. Madrid's a traffic nightmare. Barcelona would be the same. Valencia probably too. But the rest, relatively calm from a traffic point of view. Al saying here, the only time I received a hairy eyeball from a local was when I turned down his invitation to go to a bullfight. The road's good, better than San Diego, California. Yeah, turned down the invitation to go to a bullfight. Yeah, probably the supporters of bullfighting don't like to hear anything negative about it, and there's a lot of press at the moment. A lot of the former bullfighters are coming out saying that, the industry's this, the industry's that. If there was no bullfighting industry, there would be no bulls, because that's the argument that they put forward, that if there was no bullfighting, there would be no bulls. You can believe that if you want or not, depending, but that's the argument that they put forward. And one bullfighter said that for every bull that is killed in the ring, there are 10 that are enjoying the pastures out there at the moment. So that's the argument, that we need bullfighting in order to keep that the animal, the bull, alive and well, according to that argument, of course. Colin saying, or aka Steppenwolf Colin saying, great roads, but too many speed humps in towns and villages. Thanks, Colin. Too many speed humps in towns and villages. Well, I've worked out the reason why is because there's a Spanish word, it is macarra, and macarra is a person that likes to drive their car fast, normally not respecting the rules. Bit of a macarra. And where I live here, you see them speeding up and down the roads in their fancy cars, and the speed humps are basically, as they suggest, to slow down the traffic because of the macarras and other people that like the speed, of course. Marcus saying that road quality seems to vary regionally. I found that Andalusia and Galicia can have some pretty ropey road surfaces. That is true, Marcus. I was driving, I can't remember where I was driving the other day, but I crossed into a different autonomous community, and as soon as I went into the different autonomous community, I think it was Madrid into Castilla-La Mancha, the road condition changed completely. So on one side it was good, then as soon as I got onto the other side it went downhill. And there are some parts of the country where roads are worse than in others. Leon springs to mind, or travelling to Leon City, one of the worst roads I've ever seen. But anyway, Flutter Girl's coming in here from sunny and cool Toronto. Good to see you, Flutter Girl. Sunny and cool there. Typical politics. Shift the worldwide. Got a problem. Shift the buck as soon as possible. It wasn't me, mate. Thanks for that, Andrew. Not sure which article it's referring to, but no doubt it is referring to something there. Victoria, hola all, late to the party. Hope everyone has had a lovely Easter Sunday. Thanks, Victoria, for that. Valued member 2 is Victoria. Marcus has had mixed success with Cuenca. Most recent visit was ruined by a very dodgy Airbnb booking operator, preferring hotels these days. Yeah, you got to be careful with the dodgy Airbnb. A lot of the places, as we have seen, don't have licenses. They're not official. So you got to be careful. And sometimes hotels do meet the needs, but of course some places don't have hotels. So you got to stay in this rural type accommodation, which can be sometimes a little bit hit and miss. Heidi here too, coming in from snowy Avila province. Thanks, Heidi. Amanda saying here, Easter Sunday morning in the US, everyone doing holiday stuff. Most likely, Amanda. Easter Sunday today, an important day for some, just a normal day for others. Easter eggs and things like that. Children trying to find Easter eggs. Chris saying here that it's only fair most hotel staff are tireless workers and need paying the proper pay rates, not Mickey Mouse wages. Thanks, Chris, for that. Charlie the Chaste, Estuardo, do you post bathing suit photos to your Instagram? What do you reckon, Charlie? What do you reckon? Do you see me as the type of person putting bathing suit photos on my Instagram account? What do you reckon? What else we got going on here? Chris also wishing everyone a happy Easter that are celebrating today. Thanks for that. DIR just became a valued member. Thanks you very much for jumping on board, joining the crew. I think we're now up to 78 or 79. We might even hit 80 soon. Eddie, 3:35 a.m. where he is, early start. Absolutely, Eddie. Sun wouldn't be up yet, I don't imagine there. We saw that one. Charlie would welcome a pay rise as well. I think most people would, Charlie. And of course, when you work in these sectors where wages have historically been quite low, the tourism sector and a lot of the hospitality jobs, of course. Recent trip to Asturias for business as a total non-speaker, non-Spanish speaker that is, went fairly well. Only a few people spoke zero English. Yeah, I think that's the general thing nowadays. I don't know how to pronounce this handle that you've got here. Is it derp or something like that? I think nowadays with the education levels, as I said, improving regarding foreign languages, kids are obliged to learn it at school, so you're going to be picking up something, even if you don't get an official level. Normally the basics can be covered, and you can sort of have the conversation nowadays, where before it was a lot more difficult, of course. No bullfighting, no bull. Sounds like bull indeed. Well, that's the argument that they put forward, Marcus. As I said, this bullfighter today in the news article, he calls himself El Espataco, I think is his name. Retired now, I think, but yeah, Janet saying the UK has a population of 68.2 million and 244,376 square kilometres or kilometres. So, yeah, how big is Andalusia? Is it bigger or smaller than that? I don't know off the top of my head. Or Castilla-León or Castilla-La Mancha. I could probably Google it quickly and find out. I'll just do that here quickly as I've got nothing else to do. And Andalusia kilometres squared. Here we go. Let's see what pops up here. 87,597. So yeah, so the UK bigger than that. What about England? What's the size of England, for example? England. So we'll narrow it down. England, because I think the majority of the population is in England. England's 130,000. What about Castilla y León? Let me have a look here. Castilla y León. Let me have a look. 94. Yeah, so probably those two areas combined, the population would be the same size, but the population, of course, in Andalusia and Castilla y León is nowhere near 60 million people. So a lot of people on the roads. And what else we got going here? Derp, back again. Sorry, it was a surprise trip, so I wasn't able to learn the basics. Yeah, I don't think anyone's expecting people to learn Spanish to come here on a holiday. Maybe some of the basics, of course. But people living here is the issue, I think, a lot of the times. People that sort of put learning the language on the back burner for whatever reason. Maybe it's age or something. Pamela and Johnny's motorhome journeys. Hello from Ireland, coming to Spain in June in our motorhome. Thanks for that, motorhome viewers. A friend of mine's recently bought a motorhome. He's very happy with his purchase, and I think he took it out the other day. Spain's population, nearly 50 million and 506 kilometres or kilometres squared. What else we got going on here? Antonio saying that bullfighting here in Spain is going to end. Not sure in 50 years, but certainly in 100. I used to live next to the owners of Brave Bulls cattle, and the business was going down. Yeah, Antonio, I don't really know if we can put a date on the extinction of this event, but yeah, it could be sooner, it could be later. I don't know, but I think statistics would tell us that it is falling in popularity. But you never know what could change. Spain could change politically in the next 5 or 10 years, and this could become another big thing, promoted again, as it was back in the past. What else we got going on? I knew Spain was big, but not twice as big as the UK. Yeah, Spain's fairly big. It is, that's it. Spain's twice as big as England. Can't compare at all. That's true. Less population as well. As I said, some of the autonomous communities are quite big as well, and with smaller populations. And Pamela and Johnny love the channel. Following the food reviews, we know to look for a menú del día when we come to Spain. I hope I've spelt that incorrectly. Menú del día, not DEA. DAA is the Drug Enforcement Agency. The DIA, DIA, I think Pamela and Johnny is the correct pronunciation. But yeah, the best value meals in Spain, in my opinion, the menú del día. Sometimes you get, in my experience, you get a fairly decent meal on most occasions. There are some places that struggle to put out quality food, but for the price, what do we expect? As long as you get a relatively healthy meal, which is normally the case, plenty of things to choose from, normally 3-4 dishes to choose from, firsts and second courses, and of course dessert, which again, not the highlight a lot of the times of the menu. I tend to find that the first courses for me are the highlights. A lot of the traditional Spanish meals, slow-cooked meals, come out as the first course. Then the second courses, you get a piece of steak or a piece of chicken or something like that with some salad or some chips or whatever. But for 13 or 14 euros, I still think it's good value for money. Bear Kicks from Spain but live in the UK. Just got back from Tenerife last week. Those hotels and hospitality staff work their butts off and are particularly friendly and welcoming. Yeah, been my experience too there in the Canary Islands. The hotel staff I have found to be incredibly friendly and welcoming. The 2 times that I have travelled to the Canary Islands, once to Tenerife. I still remember the hotel staff. One lady in particular was very, very friendly, very, very welcoming. Antonio loved the video about public transport in Madrid. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Antonio, for that. Just putting those videos out there for people that might be coming to Madrid and want to work their way around the city. Plenty of different options to get around Madrid nowadays. And Mike, 17 plus degrees there. Happy Easter. Thanks, Mike, for that. And happy Easter to you too. Celebrating it today there in North America. Now I'm going to wrap the live stream up. It's been a pleasure as always. I'll be back again on Tuesday with another one, hopefully. Hope to see you then. Hasta luego, hasta entonces, adios, and bye-bye.